Hello friends, this is the Blackwing 635RG that we are going to fly. That one, with some liveries, weight and balance. I found it a little bit buggy, but you can change the payload at least, and fuel. Let's take it at 50%. You can also check the center of gravity. Failures, well, I didn't change that and this is what you can change as well. It's the usual stuff, aircraft selection, so let's select that, and we are going to depart in Orbx simply. Let's say here, and fly. We have smooth winds, 11 kilometers per hour, 320. That's probably from that direction, so we are going to depart to runway 25 probably. Yeah, this airplane has been produced in the simulation with the help of Blackwing themselves. So they helped, it's a Norwegian company, I believe, and they helped the developers at Orbx, I don't know, to develop the plane authentically with great detail. And you will see that immediately in the outside model. Now that's 1,500 feet. Okay. So there we are. Augsburg seems to be getting dark now. It's not real live. I don't know. Maybe I get the time wrong. That's 17:51. Oh, that's okay. I don't know. Anyway, we can fly a short pattern even if it's a little bit darker. Okay, this plane, as I said, very nice model outside. I don't study this too much, but if you do, you will find no faults. You can open the canopy today. This is a good idea because it's rather warm and hot outside. Note that the switches have two positions here. Yeah, all switches have two positions, almost all, I think. Anyway, we can use checklists to start the plane, just to learn how this is done. So ignition is off. It is a case, and the master switch is off down. This is the down position. There's the middle and a fully up position. And the backup switch is also off. Landing gear is down position. Power lever is idle. There's a very simple power lever here. Circuit breakers are all pushed. You can actually push them. Adjust and lock the seat belts, no problem. Starting the engine. Parking brake is set. We don't do any outside check. Well, just assume everything is okay. So if you set the parking brake, tow brakes will be activated forward automatically. Nice touch. Master switch goes on engine start medium. That's what you need to start the plane due to the design of the electric circuits. So if you put it full, it will not start, but you can operate the flaps. And the fuel tank selector, left or right, I think I have same amount of fuel almost. So I'm putting that left with the mouse wheel. Fuel pump, both fuel pumps up, which are on. And ignition, oh sorry, ignition goes to both. Check that. So this is the indication for the magneto strobe lights is on. I think that's this one. An upper light in the up position. Propeller area is clear, so well, I cannot chase him away, so we have to just disregard him. He's maybe wandering away. Ignition goes to start, and that starts the engine. Good. Oil pressure check. Should go into the green. Yellow, green. That's good before taxi. Master switch, normal operation up. So this is for handling the flaps, which I'm going to demonstrate now. The flaps lever is here, so you can use that, or you can use the usual flaps key. So this is indeed working. Let me check on the other side. Up and up again. Works. Altimeter radios are set now. What do we set for the radio? Tune Augsburg ground. Tune Augsburg 80, that would be 119.665. We can tune it by clicking here, of course, or clicking there, 119.665, and transfer it.
Augsburg Airport Information India 1500 Zulu. Wind tree 16 at 6.
Now it's here.
Sky condition 10,300 feet scattered, 14,300 feet scattered. Temperature 25. 2.10. QNH tree 0.12. ILS runway 25 in use.
So that's the correct altitude.
Landing and departing runway 25.
Yeah, we are using runway 25.
Direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact.
The next thing we do is tune ground 129, and I'm doing that immediately here, just to make things simple, and also request a taxi remaining pattern.
Augsburg ground Bravo Whiskey 635 Romeo Golf with India request taxi for takeoff touch and go.
Bravo Whiskey 635 Romeo Golf taxi to and hold short of runway 25 via taxiway Mike Echo. Contact tower on 124.9 when ready.
Okay.
Taxiing, hold short runway 25
Okay,
via
we do that.
taxiway Mike
So we
Echo
have
5
set
Romeo
them.
Golf.
Altimeter setting is correct, but we want to fly 2,500, so I'm setting this here immediately. This is a working autopilot, and I'm not sure if I'm going to demonstrate it. Maybe I will. Transponder, you can even enter a flight plan. I will do that in a minute. We are flying visual. Put that to on. Taxi light on center. That is that one. Yep. And the parking brake, release that. Well, for the moment that's all I want to do. Now I wanted to show you a flight plan, so you can use in this Garmin 3X, GE3X, add an origin and the destination. It's not a very fancy one, but well, you could enter an en route waypoint. Let's use Kempton, something like that, doesn't matter really. So we are flying Kempton and back, and maybe another one. Maybe we decide that in Kempton we want to be at 5,000, so we can write that down here. And another one, let's take Maisach, Mike Alpha Hotel, and that one. Good. Now we have a sort of flight plan. Let me show you, though. This is a very simple one. This one, I don't fly that. I'm doing a pattern work. It's just for demonstrating, and to demonstrate to you how that is done. And you also have procedures. Go to the menu, procedures, and the departure, for instance, the airport Echo Delta Mike Alpha, runway we want. Oops. Departure, you need to take that one, Kempton 9 Golf, and let's load it. And go back to the map. So now we have a departure. Like that. And you can also have an arrival, I think. Well, I'm not showing you that now. Okay, how to get rid of that? I'm always not sure how that is done. So if you switch between map and that one. By the way, this is the GPS source, and for the ILS approach you would want UR1. The ILS frequency is set automatically. You cannot turn it here. It's a bug probably. GPS. Bearing pointers, you can have ILS here, for instance. GPS here, and ILS on the other side, so the nav 1 on the other side. More options, synthetic vision you can switch off, and the vectors, let's take that one. Yeah, speed, direction, or maybe that one. Heading crosswind. Back. Yep. Yeah, that's all I do for the moment. And let's take a proper range here. Maybe that one. They are flying a right pattern, probably like that. That's all I do in this flight. No demonstration of stall speeds. It has a rather low stall speed. The documentation, by the way, comes with it. So release the parking brake. And there we go. Yeah, this doesn't belong here, obviously. Let's call it a museum plane or something like that. In Augsburg, there is no commercial air traffic anymore. And this one, of course, completely off. So there we are. Let me stop there. Set the parking brake and get my takeoff clearance. Let me first do the check. So engine run up, parking brake should be set, of course, for that, and the lane check. Well, this does not work properly. I didn't find any magneto drops or anything, so I skipped that, and the idle RPM is 1800. Okay, before takeoff, adjustment locked, and canopy is locked, flaps 20. Let's do that. Elevator trim. So the elevator trim can be set here, and the usual keys work. And here's an elevator indication, and it's on neutral. Landing light is on. Let me put that on now. Flight controls free and correct. Let me check that. That's right, and that's left. And to demonstrate the elevator, let me add a little bit more throttle. And up, down. You can see that it's working, indeed. And rudder. Probably that's also, you can also feel that. I don't know. Pick item, throttle, cycle, I did that. Parking brake, release, and we need a takeoff clearance for that. So let me get one.
Augsburg Tower, Bravo, Whiskey, 635, Romeo Golf, ready at runway, 25 touch and go.
Bravo Whiskey 635 Romeo Golf, QNH 0.121316 at 6. Right touch and go approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 25.
Cleared for takeoff runway, 255 Romeo Golf.
So I will release that, and then I'm reading that for you so that you know what's happening. Throttle full, control stick neutral, rotation 45 knots, so that's a rather low rotation speed, and you reach it immediately. And then you accelerate to 80 knots, below 80 knots. Landing gear goes up immediately. You can extend it up to 90 knots, but you cannot. No, you can extend it below 70 knots, but you can keep it extended up to 90 knots. Landing light, this is after takeoff, will be off then. Flaps, I will retract above 300. And the flaps, the max flap speed is 90 knots. Flaps 20 that we have is max 90 knots, so be careful. Fuel pump, main fuel pumps will be off then. That's what I do. The landing checklist we do later. And release the parking brake, and there we go. Right. Good, and immediate takeoff. We have a clearance. Trim is set, flaps are set. We don't actually need takeoff flaps, so push forward a little bit, just. And now almost full throttle, 45, I think. That's all we have to do. Gear up. And now accelerate to 80 knots. Keep the runway heading. You can follow the GPS now. You do that also automatically with the autopilot, but I won't because I'm doing a pattern. So we climb to 2,500. Flaps up now. And once we are there, I'm going to turn. So now release. The throttle should go down, so we can accelerate, and we are at 2,500. Right. Now we try to coordinate it, which isn't easy. So trimmed for 130 knots, which is our maneuvering speed, like so. 2,500 feet, 130 knots. And now we wanted to put the landing light off and the fuel pumps off. Turn right downwind. And up climbing. Keep the nose down. Good. There's the airport. And now keep the maneuvering speed at 130 knots, and we need to decelerate now. So for landing, we put the landing light on again, and the fuel pumps on, and cut the gas down so that we decelerate to 90 knots, where we can set flaps 20 degrees. We should get our clearance now.
Clear touch and go right traffic runway 25.
Cleared for touch and go runway 255 Romeo Golf.
I have a key to acknowledge that. That's just the key 1. So now we are dropping below 90 slowly, and I'm going to trim up so that I keep the altitude. And at that point, flaps set. And we can probably turn base now. Maybe now. And once we are below 70, we can drop the gear. Like that. Gear down. Add a little bit of throttle so that we are between 60 and 70 knots. That's where we want to be. And I'm still at flaps 20. There we are, looks good. Maybe like that. Okay, we extend another notch of flaps, and turn towards the runway, descending. You almost need no thrust at all. A very, very slippery, slicky plane. And we are going to take a steep approach, of course. 68 knots, that's okay. I advise only at this point to lower the last notch of flaps. This is a touch and go, so after landing I'm going to go to flaps 1 and take off again. So now full flaps, check. So now fuel pumps on, landing light on, we have a landing clearance, and also we have 3 green gear down. The aircraft will decelerate rather quickly, so keep it up, and I need to add some throttle now, which I really don't like. We have crosswind. I think so. So there we are. Cut the throttle, and there we go, and end it. So now flaps 1, rudder for center line, and take off. 45, and up we go. Gear up immediately. Yeah, that's all I want to show you in this flight. Well, thank you for watching, and enjoy this wonderful plane. You can fly it cross-country with no problems, I think. So flaps up now, and fuel pumps off, and landing light off. Bye-bye.